Lights on, the cautions on the racetrack.
Cautions out for the 46, Michael Annette. Up the racetrack, out of the groove. Michael Annette was running 32nd. And around he goes. No contact with that outside wall.
This is the other issue. Wider temper square because
a little bit too close for comfort.
Yeah, you see here the tire carrier on the right front. He has the rear tire in his hand. That's the rear tire actually that the 13 hits on the way by. Now the 13 is a box in front of, not directly in front of the 18. He's 2 boxes really in front of him. You see the tire carrier like, and what's the deal? He had his back to the 13 car coming in. I put that on Casey Mears.
Denny Hamlin around and bringing out the 4th caution at Martinsville. That was live, by the way, folks. You were listening to Joey Meyer.
Had to go back there because of the penalty.
Huge damage to Greg Biffle as well. Let's look back on what happened.
You see that inside lane stacks up, and the chain reaction, it stacks all the way back until the 11 gets into the back of the 43, and you can see behind them, these cars just can't get slowed down. That's why we talk about the fight for the bottom. Well, what happens is at the end of the straightaway, when a car dives to the bottom, that checks the whole line up. It's basically like changing lanes on the interstate in traffic. That lane stops, the other lane rolls, and you see the chain reaction. As everyone jams on the brakes, finally you get back 3, 4, 5 cars that couldn't get slowed down.
And you can't see it. When you're 5 rows behind where it starts checking up, you do not see it. So
it says Goodyear. That white you see right there is the paint and the debris from the wall. That car made heavy contact for sure. He was just coming off pit road a few laps ago. I think he was actually involved in the... So he's coming down into turn 3. So he has some damage already, and you just see the car just goes straight.
8 cars were involved in that incident that took place with Denny Hamlin, Danica Patrick. Sam Hornish Jr. also involved. So was...
Stuck on the curb in 3 and 4. It may not be moving. All right, it's moving. Track will be clear in the corner.
That was Sam Hornish Jr. that got over the curb. And that's the 6th caution now. We've completed 135 laps.
Trying to get down into turn 3. Looks like he's 3 wide, and the 98 gets forced down over the curb and really just comes up into the side of the 9 car. Nothing I think Sam Hornish could do.
Ryan Preece trying to shorten the short track. I don't know if I've seen anyone come on the inside of the curb before.
I've seen some people hit the curb, but
behind another car. Jeff, that's an interesting strategy to almost give up a spot here at Martinsville. Not something you normally want to do, but you don't want a driver pressuring you that hard early in the run either.
Greg Biffle went around, coming out of turn 2. That brings the caution out once again. And Biffle had help, or Biffle helped someone. There were 2 cars back there. Biffle was the one pointed in the wrong direction when the caution came out. Danica also had some issues. She was up near the wall, and you see the smoke.
She got behind her and just pushed her into the corner. She was trying to get in, and he just wasn't having any of it and pushed her right into the wall.
It's David Gilliland in the 38. Most recently, Greg Biffle, Sam Hornish Jr. going through turns 2.
Greg just lost it. Tried to get the throttle down and came around on him.
And then on pit road, under this most recent caution, the 41, things got a little hot for the gas man. Take a look.
Yeah, you see this, that liquid you see on the ground is fuel from when they filled the car up. Perhaps a hot lug nut or a spark off changing the tires ignited that fuel. That's a great situation that's only as...
Look at the 4. And around goes the 18 of Kyle Busch. The 3 as well with Austin Dillon. The caution will come out.
Right. Well, when we saw the 3 stay out on old tires, that was the one caveat to it, is he had to not only fight and hold his position.
We got toe damage and right front damage and...
As they checked up in front of him, Carl Edwards running 16th. Got into the back of A.J. Allmendinger.
Yeah, it's hard to see what you see right here, the 18. He just gets loose and comes up the track chasing, and he doesn't mean to get into the 3. He's sliding up the racetrack out of control, and the chain reaction got called.
Didn't we hear him say something about water on the
apron?
Does he think that water caused this issue? Where he got in the corner and there's water on the racetrack? Let's see if there is water.
Down.
It almost looked like he got into the curve. The way the steering wheel moved. Happy about what he thinks is precipitation or maybe some water on the racetrack.
Yeah, right here. See on the left side, right underneath the 20 car, that appears to be water. And So he's got his left side tires in this water, and as soon as he does, the back end comes around and he gets into the 3. So there does appear to be water on the racetrack, and he's asking to have it cleaned up.
Here's what the 18 had to say on the radio. Ted Boyer, hard contact with the back of that car into the wall. He was running 16th, and you see all the damage to the back end of the 15.
And that was a chain reaction behind Clint Boyer. We had David Reagan going down the backstretch, looking to the inside of the 42. He gets in the 42, who then gets into the 15, spins the 15 up the racetrack.
Short track racing, a lot of bumping, banging, nobody giving an inch, and we're still haven't even reached lap 200 of this 500-lap race.
Yeah, what you're going to see is you're going to see David Reagan all the way to the bottom of the backstretch trying to get into the 42. The 42's trying to protect. And as he gets into the left rear of the 42 goes up to the racetrack, gets into the left rear of the 15. Clint Boyer probably had no idea he had those 2 cars underneath him.
And listen, it's lap 186. Okay, I know it's a fight to the bottom, but at the same time, you have to use, you have to give a little bit. You have to say, all right, I don't have this spot right now. It's okay to lift and not get in the back of somebody. I know the fight for the bottom is important, but give and take.
And just as Brad Keselowski went by the 4, the caution comes out for Greg Biffle. We'll see if they made it to a scoring loop before the caution came out. That is how NASCAR racer to lead at Martinsville. This is Biffle around again on his own.
That looks almost identical to the first time he spun.
And he was quite a ways away from the curb that time. The last time he was right up against the front end of the 16. Caution out. Once again, this is the 11th caution.
Greg Biffle's not had the day at Martinsville he's wanted. See a flat left front tire. And unlike at some tracks, you have an inner liner to keep the car up off the ground. We don't run inner liners here at the short tracks.
Pit road is open for Greg Biffle. Pit road has gone green. And that's a very similar sight that we have seen today.
While he was underneath the 46 of Michael Annette, right in the middle of the corner.
A little bit further back in the pack, Kevin Harvick. Well, as we take a look at Kurt Busch here.
Yeah, Martin Truex Jr. basically, you're going to see this at a short track. He's on the outside of the chase car in front of him. He needs to go. Trevor Bayne is out there a few laps down. The 78 just has no patience. He goes in, gets him in the left rear bumper right here, pushes him up the racetrack. He needs that lane. He can't lift and let more cars go. He has to get back in line. You see the 20 and the 18 lined up inside him.
Way up the racetrack, Kyle Fowler in the 32. Into the wall. We saw a lap turned early under 20 seconds, and then everyone else was running right around 21 seconds to maybe low 21s, and the caution has come out now.
Yeah,
Danica Patrick around in turn 4. And pace is picking up, and tough situation for Danica Patrick as she comes down, and the 38 stops right in front of her.
Yeah, Danica.
And now they're not going to stop. It's not over.
Danica's upset again.
This is the 38 running the 10 all the way up the track, and then Danica into the wall. And now most recently,
it looks like a replay in opposite positions. The 10 gets behind the 38, runs the 38 up the racetrack.
Chases the 38 up the racetrack, and then around she goes. Green light on the pits.
Much earlier.
Caution in turn 4 for the 23. Jeb Burton around.
Now these cars aren't going to pit, so where were you running? Were you odd or even? Are you going to restart the inside or the outside?
Jeb gets to the 38 a little bit and tries to get slowed down, and Sam Hornish is coming. They make contact. Jeb was running 32nd.
Now Jeb Hurd.
Oh, goes to 20. Kids at the round, out in front of the field. The 41 has damage. Joey Logano clears him, but the 2, incredible damage on the 2 of Brad Keselowski as well.
We talked about this. The Penske cars trying to let one.
They took off slow, The 22 got up the racetrack. The 2 got in the back of the 22. They come off the corner, and the 20 and the 2 make contact. It's on from there.
Yeah, the 41, there really is nowhere to go. They spin and catch the 41. He makes heavy contact with the inside wall.
It's coming off turn 2. There's the initial contact.
Look at the 41. Big hit. But, you know, this all started on the restart. They just didn't do as good of a job this time of making all the transitions work, and it got everybody checked up.
Outside 24, outside, tight, 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 right in front of you. Keep helping, straight.
Where the 41 hits, that inside wall, that's actually a new safer barrier there. It used to just be a concrete wall.
So here we go. They're side by side. They take off. The 22 doesn't get quite as good of a run as we've seen. The 2 gets into the back of the 22, gets everybody checked up. Then it gets started from there.
Yeah, the 2 doesn't want to go. He wants to let the 22 in, but the 41 is pushing the issue because that's what he needs to do.
Cleared by Logano, maybe no! Kinza takes him out! Logano into the wall! Caution comes out and the crowd roars.
A couple weeks ago, I was the first to say I never expected.
For the crew members of the 20. Joe Logano stuck in the grass. If the 20 of Matt Kenseth can continue, NASCAR has said he will be parked. Helmet is already off of the 20. Why this is happening. A couple races ago at Kansas, Matt Kenseth was leading. Joey Logano running second.
Clearly, the 22 is lapping the 20, and 20 obviously intentionally wrecked him. And like what happened the week before was more than 2 weeks before was more than it should have been. And just flat wrecked him.
Matt Kenseth already not having the day that he wanted to have. And the opportunity presented itself at a short track.
Still down there. Still down there. Still down there. Still down there.
Once the favorite for the title, Joey Logano out of his car. Matt Kenseth out of his car. It will be an interesting trip to the infield care center. Listen into the 20 radio.
Wow, man, I get the right front one down there. You okay? Yeah, I'm okay. I flew right front or something.
Kansas race.
And that was good. All he could to block Joey. He needed to win that race, and when Joey got to him, he felt like he blocked him a little too much, tried to make a move on the outside. That blocked him again. They got to turn 1. Joey decided to get into the 20 and on win the race.
Yeah, then a week later, coming to pit road, Matt Lund of the 22 pulled in front of him and brake checked him coming to pit road. It didn't look like that to me. It looked like the 22 was trying to get to pit road himself, but Matt Kenseth had a disagreement on that. And then today, the 20's being lapped by the 22. The 20 clearly just gets in the left rear quarter panel, drives the 22 into the corner. There was a lot of conversation after Kansas. Would there be retaliation? I was a firm believer that the 20 was going to make it difficult on the 22, but I honestly didn't expect to see this. But without a doubt, Matt Kenseth had another plan here.
Yeah, I didn't expect to see it either. I thought that Matt would, like you, I thought he would make it difficult on Joey for the rest of the year. But I thought Matt would make it difficult on Joey anyway if he was racing for the championship, if he won that race. And, you know, this is part of the NASCAR.
A very happy person. That's Joey Logano's dad right there. And Todd Gordon, the crew chief, holding him back. Tempers all continues to get dark, and the caution has come out. David Reagan in the 55 around in turn 2. They'll restart again. Austin Dillon on the inside of that 55. Contact made, and around he went.
Once again, somebody trying to block, getting in the corner. Did not work out.
To go, got into the wall. After leading at the restart, Allmendinger trying to hang on to that car for the final laps. And around they go in front of him, and the caution will come out. The 9 of Sam Hornish Jr. stopped on the track. We will have a restart.
Now you come get tires. There's 31 laps of these tires. Last year we saw the leaders pit late. The 88, the 24 came and got tires. They passed cars on